Hey guys! so, today is gonna be sorry guys, I'm a little bit sick. But I'm gonna answer your questions again from yesterday's video. And okay, there's a reason why I'm laughing, so I'm gonna eat this to help my throat a little bit. This is like this honey Indonesian concoction that apparently you could drink this for any sickness. And you're supposed to drink this all in one like go, but then I don't like to because it's too strong for me. So gonna drink this a little by little. So the reason why I'm laughing a little bit, okay, so I'm just gonna get right into the questions, guys. And the reason why I'm laughing a little bit is because the number one liked question is, don't you guys want to know about the camera shy guy, my camera shy friend, aka my ex-boyfriend in Korea? And as of updates, actually when I was going to Indonesia, he met me right the day before I came to Indonesia, and he told me like to make things easier, if neither of us get into a relationship, let's try to keep in touch and stuff, like yeah, stay friends, keep in touch. But then, and he also told me like if I'm gonna go to a different country, let him know and stuff. But he also said that if either of us get into a relationship, let's not talk to each other anymore as much, so it's easier for both of us to like go forth. And honestly, because me and him, at least I did, I was really deeply in love with him, right? So then he thought it would be easier for the both of us if we do, like it'll be healthier for our new relationship if we stop talking to each other. So as you guys know, when I came to Indonesia, I did get into a relationship, so we stopped talking to each other. I'm not even sure if he thinks about me, but yeah, that's what happened. We kind of stopped talking. But I think if I started a conversation with him, I think if he is still single, he would talk to me. But yeah, we just stopped talking to each other for the most part. But I don't mind. I mean, I felt kind of bad when we were in the relationship, actually, because for me it was one of the easiest relationships that I've ever been in, because it was so effortless. Like we were like really really good friends, and our base was kind of on the same place, like we believed in the same thing. I don't know, he's just like one of the people that I would hang out with on a normal basis. Like he was like a bestie, so it was really easy for me. But then he had a lot of work to do, obviously, SNU student, freshman, a lot of work to do, right? He had a lot of work to do, and he had a really hard time balancing me and his work. So I felt a little bad, and I think he was a little relieved that we broke up. So I don't want to, he's still in this university, and he's still prioritizing his studies, so I don't want to like create drama and like talk to him when he's busy. But yeah, I could definitely say I do care about him still. It's just we don't really talk that much because we don't really have the need to talk. Maybe if I go to Korea one day, will I say hi? I don't know, guys. But yeah, for the most part, we don't really keep in touch. I don't really keep in touch with any of my exes because yeah, the camera shot, I have 3 exes so far, and I told you guys the camera shy friend, the reason why we don't keep in touch. The first ex, we don't keep in touch because he was just like the bad boy type, and every time we do talk, we end up like arguing and stuff because we just don't match. And like some of the things he says, it makes me really mad because he was the bad boy type, so he didn't like, yeah, he was the bad boy type, so we don't really keep in touch. I usually just like don't want to talk to you, okay, leave me alone, like that. And yeah. And I guess my third ex is the only person that I really keep in touch with right now. Okay, moving on. Oh, and do you guys want to know a story time with my camera shy friend? I guess that's all I have to say about my camera shy friend. I could say he was the easiest relationship because yeah, I felt like he was like a bestie to me. And I think, those people where with, you know, there are those people that you just click with, and those people that you kind of have to make an effort to work or an effort to become friends with, you know, like not even a relationship, but not even like a love relationship, but like even in friendships, there are people that you kind of have to make an effort to become friends with them, and there are other people where you guys just click, right? Well, my camera shy friend, he's one of those people that just clicked. And yeah, like even before we were dating, like we were officially boyfriend and girlfriend, it kind of just like kind of slowly became boyfriend and girlfriend. So there were like, even before we were dating, we would like hold hands and stuff when we're walking in public. It kind of happened accidentally because we would hang out often like over the summer vacation, because obviously we didn't have class, right? And I didn't really have any friends to hang out with because all the exchange students went back to their countries. So like we would hang out like almost at least like 3 or 4 times a week. And yeah, he would teach me Korean and stuff, and then like he'd take me to places like it's just okay, but anyway, yeah. And then we would, and I don't know, I thought it was really cute how he made the effort and everything to like take me to places. And yeah, but at that time I didn't know if he was into me, because he mentioned something like he can't do long distance or something, and he knew I was gonna go back in December. So like I could have sworn that he wasn't into me, but then there was a point where like you just know that the other person has a thing for you. Like the eye contact becomes longer, and like when I just like to compliment people because it makes people feel better. And when I used to compliment him, he would just like shake it off and stuff. But then there was a point where I complimented him, and he took it so like it was really cute. Like I was like, oh, like he was talking to me about his cousin, and apparently his cousin is like, oh, like super good, like he's in a really good relationship, he gets good grades, he finished the military, da 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 da, da like that, right? And I was like, there's not much difference between you guys, because yeah, you're smart too, like that. And then he was like his reaction showed like, I don't know, it was just different from how someone, your friend, would react when you compliment them, and if someone you liked complimented you, you know? So yeah, that's when I knew. I was like, oh, I think he likes, like, I think it's more than just friends, like that. And then when we were walking one day around Yongsan Yak, oh, why do I remember this? Okay, this was before we were dating, but we were walking around the station, because Yongsan station, because there's like a huge mall, right? And there was this like a restaurant he wanted to take me to. And like we were just walking, but like our hands keep bumping into each other, and it was so awkward. And it's like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Like it was just really awkward. And then he just grabbed my hand, and like we started holding hands and stuff. And this was before we were dating, okay? That's why it was like, yeah, it just happened really naturally, and there was no force into it. Even when we were like dating officially, like it was the most effortless relationship ever for my side. I'm pretty sure for him it was a lot of hard work, which I feel really bad and I feel sorry for, because yeah, he had to balance studies and work, but me as an exchange student, my workload wasn't as big as his. So yeah, I had a lot of time for him, and every time we did hang out, it was fine. I just feel bad. That's when I realized, like through my relationships, I realized even though I'm happy in a relationship doesn't mean the other person is 100%. And I also realized that relationship it's both ways, right? Yeah, so you have to really take into consideration about what the other person is feeling. And not only you, the other person has to be selfless and think about you too, in order for you to fully think about them. So yeah, that's what I learned through my relationship, and that's a little story time about my camera shy friend, I guess. He was like such a bestie. But now, like even when I see pictures of him, I don't feel anything. Like I'm not in love with him or anything. It's just I really like the relationship we had. Okay, next. Have you ever thought of live streaming once you have a certain sub goal? Live streaming, I actually don't know how that works, and I have considered it, because actually I have been requested to do a live stream on this certain, not really request, but there's this Indonesian site where you could do live streams, but the only reason why I never really started with it is because one, it's mainly for Indonesian viewers, and two, I can't speak Indonesian, right? And when I looked at it, it was like all pictures of like models and stuff, and like it's like and it was like all Indonesian models or like famous like girl actresses and stuff, and I was like it would be like, I don't know, I don't think I would fit there. So yeah, I guess I just don't have a tool for live streaming, but if I did, I would, sure, I'll consider it. Yeah, I just never thought about it actually. Okay, next question says, story time. What is the most important lesson that you learned in life, and how did you learn that lesson? Actually, I still remember it. This was such a life-changing moment for me. I don't know why it was so big, but I'm the type of person that tries to get along with everyone, and when I fail to do so, it makes me question like so many things, like why can't I be good to this person? Why am I not getting along with this person? And especially at home, because I'm one of 7 kids, right? And the 4 girls, it's like the order of the children is girl, 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 boy, boy, boy. And I'm here. So there's 4 girls at the top, and Jen, me, and Shay, we all have completely different personalities. And Sarah, she's like the one that tries to get along with everyone, tries to understand everyone, and she does get along with all 3 of us, right? But then the 3 of us, because we're so different, we're not really like, we're not like, oh, best friends, we get along with each other. We're not that type of person. Every time we get into like deep conversations, we usually end up arguing a little bit, like getting into a little fight. And I was always so confused because I always wanted to get along with my sisters, but I always failed to do so, and I was just so confused. And then I asked Sarah, like, you know, Sarah, like, I really want to get along with, you know, Jen, but it's really hard to. And I was like, Sarah, how do you do it? I really envy your skills. And Sarah's like, well, something you have to know, it's so simple, but it impacted my life so much. She said, something you have to know is that everyone wants to be understood. So instead of always trying to like push your opinions on people, just try to understand them. That's what Sarah told me, and I was like, that's so true, girl. Like, oh my god, that just opened my eyes to so many things, that people just want to be understood. And so I thought, yeah, I have to try to understand more and just shut my mouth a little bit. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? So we could listen more than we talk. So that's my goal, guys, to listen more and try to understand people more. And it opened my eyes to so many different perspectives in life. It's crazy. So yeah, that's what I learned from Sarah. Okay, next question says, how did you know you were in love? What gathered your confidence to finally confess, and how did you confess? Oh, no. The confession thing, it wasn't because like, why did I confess to that guy? Oh, it wasn't even, you guys, I wouldn't say, how should I say this? It was more like a crush thing. And I confessed to him only because there was a lot of pressure from outside. There was a lot of outside pressure. That's the only reason why I confessed. So there was no love. But how did I know I was deep in love? I'm not sure, you guys. I've been in 3 relationships so far, but I'm not sure if any of them I could. Well, the 3 relationship I was in, I wouldn't say it was love, like true love, like real love. I think the only time I was really deeply in love with someone was my crush back in high school. I think that was more love than the 3 relationships I was in. The 3 relationships I was in, it was more like, let's see if it'll work, and like I did have like a crush on them, and I did like them, but I wouldn't say it was love. But the other guy, how did I know I was in love? I just felt it. It just felt really right, and everything just clicked. Like there was, I don't know, that guy, it just worked. I don't know. Everything was just right. I don't know. I think if you fall in love, you just know. Like, you just know. Yeah, you just know. Yeah. Okay, next question says, just curious, do you want to be a teacher in the long run or have a different career? Also, could you do a story about something interesting that happened in your high school? Ooh. Well, a teacher is something that I wanted to do when I was in elementary school, but then now I want to work with the media, like YouTube, in the long run. But teaching is something I want to do for temporarily, just because I think it's an important skill to have, especially because I want to raise my kids with like good education, and I want them to be smart. I want them to be thoughtful. So yeah, I think being a teacher, it'll give me the skills that I need to be a good parent. So I want to do it short term, but I don't want to do it long term. And something that interesting that happened in high school. Do you guys want to know about my first day when I first came to Japan? When I first came to Japan, it was freshman year of high school. So actually it was third year of middle school in Japan, but freshman year of high school in America. When I left, when I first came to Japan, it was like the most exotic thing ever. Like, I didn't have my school uniform yet, but because it didn't get sent, but they wanted me to come to school and just get to know everyone. So I came with like jeans and like a shirt and stuff. And like everyone was like talking to me and getting so interested, and like, I don't know, it was really like I was in a foreign country. Like, in Japan, everything is so like in packs, like homeroom teachers do in packs, students too in packs, they hang out in packs. But then in America, I remember it being more liberal. So yeah, I felt like I was in an anime, I guess. Yeah, is that interesting? Like, the first day of school. Do you guys want to know more about my Japanese high school experiences? I think American high schools were a lot more fun. But yeah. Okay, next question says, why did you travel to Indonesia? You haven't mentioned it before. I actually did mention it. I'll leave the link below. I really don't have any more to say other than everything I mentioned in the video. Okay, next question says... Actually, it's in the description box of every video. Yeah. Okay, next question says... I'm trying to look for questions that I haven't answered yet. Okay, this is by Naya. Oh, Naya, I love her. Okay, Naya says, I'd love to know or story time about your experience learning the language as well as Korean, Japanese or Korean. Which one was harder, and advice for new learners. Japanese, I had to learn it because I was living in Japan. So if you're really living in a country and all your surroundings are speaking that language, you're kind of forced to learn it, and you learn it by hanging out with people that speak the native language. So Japanese, I really learned it naturally by living in Japan and going to school in Japan. Korean, I learned it because my family was Korean. Yeah, so everything I learned it naturally, guys, because I had to communicate with my parents and my family and the people at my church, right? And because they were all speaking in Korean. So, and I spoke both languages before like I was like born. It's like asking a native English speaker how they learned English. You just learned it because you live with people that speak the language, right? It's actually like that for me too. But for improvement, I would say Japanese is easier for improvement because once you get the kanji characters down, the Chinese characters down, you know the meaning just by looking at it. So like, I don't know, your cognitive skills, it's easier. But then in Korean, it's all just hangul, just the Korean letters, right? So you don't really know what it's trying to say just by looking at the hangul, so it's a little harder to understand. But Japanese is like, oh, this means this because this kanji means this, and you just like connect it all in your head. So it's easier, Japanese. Okay, any memorable interactions with fans? All of my encounters with my fans are memorable. I love meeting you guys. And are fans usually shy, or maybe you are usually shy in front of them? Fans are usually shy, like subbies are usually shy. And I'm usually not that shy because I want to know a lot about them. So then I just get right into it. I'm just like, oh, where are you from? Where are you at? I just ask question. Yeah, so I'm not usually shy in front of my fans. I love meeting you guys, and I'm just so curious about what kind of people you guys are, so I get straight into asking questions. Next question says, I'm curious about your last relationship and what was the reason that stressed you out? What makes a relationship that bad? What's wrong with it? How could the problem you get fixed? All relationships, it really depends. But honestly, I'm not gonna get into a specific relationship. I'm not gonna talk about it because it's too personal for the other party. But something that makes a relationship really hard is if the other person fails to understand you, and if you guys aren't in a common ground. So honestly, through experience, I think religion plays an important role in